All eyes now on the postmortem report of TV actor Sidharth Shukla, who died of a heart attack on Thursday. Sources have told India Today that Sidharth's postmortem lasted for over 3 hours and the entire process was videographed. In fact, a team of 5 doctors carried out the autopsy in the presence of 2 Mumbai cops. As the case is sensitive, the doctors didn't want to take any chances from previous experience of Sushant Singh Rajput's case. As a result, verification was carried out thrice. In fact, the cops are now probing if Sidharth was under any kind of medication. As of now, the police have ruled out any foul play in the death of the TV actor. Sidharth Shukla will be cremated in the day-to-day. Night before Sidharth's death, family insiders say that he complained of chest pain in the wee hours of the morning. And take a look at this report with details of the entire sequence of events.
Between 3 and 3:30 a.m. on Thursday morning, Sidharth Shukla complained of uneasiness. Sources say he informed his mother immediately about his condition, who lives in a separate flat in the same building. When Sidharth's mother arrived at his flat, as per family insiders, he told her about pain and discomfort in his chest. His mother then gave Sidharth some water and asked him to sleep. However, in the morning, when his mother tried waking him up, he did not respond. This is when she called Sidharth's sister, who later dialed their family doctor. After early examination, the doctor declared Sidharth dead and asked the family to visit a hospital. Sources say at 9:40 a.m. on Thursday, an unconscious Sidharth was brought to Mumbai's Cooper Hospital by his sister, brother-in-law, cousin and 3 friends. At 10:15, doctors at Cooper Hospital declared the young actor dead. The news spread like wildfire, leaving millions of fans in mourning. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, actor Sidharth Shukla's demise has once again raised issues of balancing stress and physical health. Experts suggest that there is a direct link between physical health and mental well-being, and neglecting either can really lead to heart complications and even sudden death due to cardiac arrest. Here's experts' opinion.
Sidharth Shukla, a successful actor and a reality TV star gone too soon. Sidharth's demise has once again put the focus on mental health.
In our country, we have people coming to us with heart attacks at a much younger age. And it's estimated that in India, the Indians have about, compared to the Western counterparts, getting heart attacks about 10 years earlier. And the major reason, I think, is the stress and our genetic predisposition, along with the various lipid abnormalities, which are not uncommon in our country.
Experts suggest there is a direct link between mental and physical health. Neglecting either of them can lead to heart complications that turn fatal.
900 लोग डेली इंडिया में 40 साल के नीचे इनका मौत होता है. हर दिन भारतवर्ष में मौत होता है. सो ये फिगर बहुत ज़्यादा है और ये प्रीमेच्योर हार्ट डिजीज कहते हैं और इसके कई कारण पहलू होते हैं.
Busy modern day lives have made stress a common element.
Lifestyle changes are a major cause. Our abnormal diet, lack of exercise, and major factor is stress. And such stress is coming in different manner. And it may be professional stress, it may be family stress. So what I would suggest is that young people need to take care of their lifestyle. They also need to decrease their stress level.
Doctors say they now see a high rate of deaths among the middle-aged due to sudden and inexplicable cardiac arrest.
Probably हमारा देश young heart attack में सबसे ऊपर है. हमारे देश में जिनको heart attack होता है उनको 10 साल पहले वेस्टर्न काउंटर पार्ट के हार्ट अटैक होता है, उनको ज़्यादा मेजर हार्ट अटैक होते हैं और उनको हार्ट अटैक में लाइफ का लॉस होने के चांसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं.
The sudden deaths of stars like Sidharth Shukla and Sushant Singh Rajput remind us the importance of ensuring not just our own mental well-being but also of those around us. Bureau Report, India Today.
Moving on, politics speaks in Bengal ahead of Durga Puja. 3 puja committees in Kolkata are collaborating to create an idol that resembles Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. The 10 hands of the idol will showcase 10 schemes of West Bengal government. While the committee members said that people in the state consider the Chief Minister as Goddess Durga, BJP IT cell head Amit Malviya has slammed this move, saying that it's an insult to the goddess. Also termed this as an anti-Hindu move. Amit Malviya tweeted, and I quote, "This defecation of Mamata Banerjee, who has blood of innocent Bengalis on her hands following the gruesome post-poll violence in Bengal, is nauseating. This is an insult to Goddess Durga. Mamata Banerjee must stop this. She is hurting the sensibilities of Hindus of Bengal." This is
ममता बनर्जी पश्चिम बंगाल के आदमी इंसान के लिए, महिलाओं के लिए, सब के लिए कोई प्रकल्प लाया है, जैसे कन्याश्री, 707 जो स्कीम है, जो लक्की भंडार, ये तो जनहित का काम है। तो इसलिए हम पूजा पंडल में भी माँ का रूप में ममता को दिखाएंगे।
In hours from now, Afghanistan will get a new government headed by the Taliban. They will make big announcement after the Friday prayers. India today has in fact learned that their supreme leader, Haibatullah Akhundzada, will be the head of the new Afghan government. Abdul Ghani Baradar might be picked as the president of the country, and the regime may also have a prime minister, Mohammad Stanigzai, who met, in fact, India's Qatar envoy in Doha just a few days ago, a conversation that ensued between India and the Taliban. He was a representative, is now tipped off to be the new foreign minister of Afghanistan. Sadr Ibrahim, a Taliban terrorist who is an expert in roadside blasts, is likely to be made the new home minister of the country. Not only car bombs, Taliban fighters are seen parading anti-aircraft guns, rocket launchers, sniper rifles. The parade was also shown on Afghanistan's national television. And the world, meanwhile, is faced with a new challenge. How should it really deal with the Taliban? Can Taliban be trusted on their assurances on curbing terror? Geeta Mohan with more on that.
The formation of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is in the last stages. The Taliban is likely to follow the Iran model if statements of its leaders are an indication. Mullah Haibatullah Akhundzada could become the supreme leader. Abdul Ghani Baradar might get picked as the president. The regime might also have a prime minister. The Taliban has already appointed governors, police chiefs and police commanders for provinces and districts.
راتلونکي کابینه باندې راتلونکي چوکاټ باندې خاکه باندې باندې ډېر ښه کار روان دی او ښه ارادې ښه نیتونه موجود دي انشاءالله چې تر خپل وسه په دې کې کوشش کیږي چې داس خلک په دې کې راشي انشاءالله چې
The Naya Afghanistan in the making throws up new challenges to the world and India in particular. For India, it is the beginning of another phase in bilateral relations. Unlike the 90s, isolation of the Taliban regime may not be an option. The new dispensation is coming with the legitimacy provided by India's partner and ally, the United States of America. The biggest fear for India is that Afghanistan could become a haven for terrorists.
One of the primary immediate concerns is that Afghan soil should not be used for terrorist anti-Indian activities or terrorism against India. I think you saw that in our press release. हमने इस बारे में काफी कह रखा है. ये हमारा एक main मुद्दा है.
New Delhi stressed this point in its first official engagement with the Taliban when India's envoy to Qatar, Ambassador Deepak Mittal, met Sheikh Mohammed Stanigzai in Doha. The Taliban have so far maintained it will follow a non-interference policy on Kashmir. But will it act on its promise needs to be seen.
I think we'll have to go by actions rather than words. I certainly do not take Taliban assurances at face value. I think that the attitude of India and the attitude of all nations should be show us, don't just tell us.
With the Taliban at the helm of affairs in Afghanistan, the options for New Delhi are quite limited. While India is adopting a wait-and-watch policy, it is also looking at its allies to ensure that India's interests are secure, be it the United States of America or particularly Moscow that has more influence over the Taliban right now. In New Delhi, Geeta Mohan for India Today.
Well, heavy rains and flash floods brought normal life to a standstill all across of New York City as Storm Ida wreaked havoc in the northeast United States. In the aftermath of the torrential rains, a state of emergency has now been declared in New York City. Here's a look in the ground report.
Relentless rains and the flash floods. The remnants of Hurricane Ida have pummeled New York City and the neighboring New Jersey. From submerged cars to the iconic Central Park being inundated, the floods have wreaked havoc all around the city. State of emergency has been declared in New York City in the aftermath of the torrential rains.
What we've got to recognize is the suddenness, the brutality of storms now. It is different. A record set 2 weeks ago, another record set now, rainfall like we haven't seen ever before. This is the biggest wake-up call we could possibly get.
Even the New York subway system was hit by the floods. New Yorkers were seen wading through floodwaters at a subway station. In New Jersey, daring rescue efforts were carried out for people stuck in their homes and on the rooftops. Hurricane Ida is the second most intense hurricane registered in the United States, only behind Hurricane Katrina, which resulted in 1,800 deaths in 2005. Bureau Report, India Today.
India's poor batting was once again on display on the first day of the fourth test, and it was the bowlers who had to bail them out. Despite seeing off the initial few overs, India ended up losing both openers with the team score on 28. Cheteshwar Pujara didn't last long either, and India went into lunch at 54 for 3. Now, India's experiment with Jadeja at number 5 didn't work as he perished right after the break, while Captain Virat Kohli played fluent covered drives on his way to his second 50 of the series. His departure brought England a flurry of wickets. With Rahane and Pant gone in quick succession there, we're looking at Shardul Thakur, who's decided to play some shots. His counter-attacking 50 off just 31 balls is now the fastest in the tests in England. He's not provided India's total a big lift, and visitors who were 127 for 7 at one point finished with 191. England too started poorly, losing both openers to Jasprit Bumrah in the fourth over of their innings, while Joe Root and David Malan got together for a 46-run stand. Root's wicket right at the end brought India and their game back in action. India's record medal haul at the Tokyo Olympics can be attributed to years of hard work for our athletes. However, the Indian Sports Ministry too deserves credit for the support that they've provided to our athletes. Not just that, the work that they've done behind the scenes shouldn't really go unnoticed. Here's how they helped the country achieve its best ever Olympic haul in history.
Many success stories were written in Tokyo this time. A record haul of 7 medals, including a gold in athletics from Neeraj Chopra and a medal for the men's hockey team after 41 long years. Despite the restrictions and the threats posed by COVID, for India, it turned out to be an almost glitch-free games. Unlike the last Olympics in Rio, where officials left no stone unturned to make use of the free-for-all junket, this time there was zero representation from the government. An initiative led by Sports Minister Anurag Thakur and his predecessor Kiran Rijiju.
आदरणीय मंत्री महोदय श्री अनुराग सिंह ठाकुर जी का ये निर्देश था कि जाते हुए नहीं, लौटते हुए भी हर प्लेयर को, हर खिलाड़ी को हमें रिसीव करना था। साई के अधिकारियों ने सभी खिलाड़ियों को लौटने पे भी रिसीव किया, चाहे वो हार के आए हों, चाहे जीत के आए हों। जैसा कि हमारी फिलॉसफी थी कि हम उनके ओलंपिक की यात्रा को सेलिब्रेट कर रहे थे। जीतना हारना तो खेल में होता ही रहता है।
For India's biggest ever contingent of 121 athletes in Tokyo, there were just 8 officials that were part of the team besides the support staff. Not a single official from Ministry and Sports Authority of India went for the games, although there were some of the Indian Olympic Association officials who did make their way, but as delegates.
खेल मंत्री, पुराने खेल मंत्री द्वारा ये निर्णय कि भाई खेलों को, ओलंपिक को कोई पिकनिक ना मान के गंभीरता से लिया जाए, इसलिए कोई नहीं जाएगा वहां पे, क्योंकि कोई भूमिका नहीं होने वाली है और सिर्फ खिलाड़ी जाएंगे वहां पे या इंडियन ओलंपिक एसोसिएशन वाले जाएंगे। ये एक बड़ा अच्छा कदम था। इससे जो था सारा फोकस जो था वो खेल और खेल के प्रदर्शन पे था, कोई घूमने और मौज मस्ती पे नहीं था।
Not only the absence of these officials at the games may have helped, but their presence in need also helped the athletes in achieving their goals.
ये हम बिल्कुल फेडरेशन ने हमको ये सुविधा दी और साई टॉप्स जो मेरे स्पॉन्सर हैं, JSW स्पोर्ट्स, इंडियन आर्मी, तो सभी ने मिलके हेल्प की। और मुझे लगता है कि जो हार्ड वर्क है वो सिर्फ 4.5 या 5 साल का नहीं था, वो जो शुरू से मैंने जब से जेवलिन शुरू की, जब से सीख रहा हूँ, हाँ बस जब से 2011 से ये मेहनत चल रही है।
Definitely yes, मुझे personally I have got support from the government and also from the sponsors like OGQ and also उसके बाद the Badminton Association ने भी मुझे बहुत support कर रहे थे जब भी हमको कुछ भी चाहिए था भी, and also the government of India and the sports authorities.
A lot of money was pumped in for the preparation of these athletes, and except for a below-par performance from the shooters, it yielded desired results. The government had sanctioned close to 80 crore rupees under the Target Olympic Podium scheme, which gives special preferences to a few individuals, and all 7 medalists in Tokyo, including the men's hockey team, were part of this project. To break it further down, rupees 44 crores was spent on 32 of the athletes who participated in the Tokyo Games. In Rio, India had suffered a massive embarrassment with the then Sports Minister Vijay Goel leading the way. Goel, who was accompanied by his wife and other staff members, was spotted taking selfies and venturing into restricted areas and was handed an official warning by the organizing committee that threatened to cancel his accreditation. That controversy had not even died down when the then Haryana Sports Minister Anil Vij took his entourage of 9 people to Rio on a junket that cost the Indian exchequer close to rupees 1 crore. Thankfully, Tokyo turned out to be a success both on and off the field. In 2008 Beijing, India's 56-member contingent returned home with 3 medals, while in London that figure went up to 83 athletes and 6 medals. Rio turned out to be a disaster with only 2 medals from 117 athletes, and in 5 years' time, India won 7 medals from their participation in 73 events. Tokyo, of course, will be remembered for India's success at the pinnacle of sports, but role of the top hierarchy in the government cannot be overlooked since it chose to do its job from behind the scenes this time. Sports Bureau, India Today.
All right, that's it for me. For more news and updates, you could log on to indiatoday.in. You could also download our app for more. Stay tuned. I'm going to come back with the top headlines.